Watching that episode made me realize just how low the stakes were in season 3.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to later episodes.
Compared to later, yeah.
Exactly.
I was great.
Great. That was great.
So, Aizawa, how did you feel about the students' performance out there?
I feel like someday they're going to be great heroes.
A lot of people thought that your team came in with a disadvantage. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I am not going to marry Ms. Joe.
That was going to be my follow-up question, so I guess we'll cut back to you, Greg, at the studio.
Well, firstly, I'm glad you thought they were potatoes, because they really look like potatoes, right? Until they didn't, until they look like balls. Let's just turn this music down. Can we turn the volume down on there? So obviously, how cool was that? You've watched an episode of My Hero Academia with the voice actors from My Hero Academia. How cool is that, right? Yeah?
Turned our backs to you and said, watch it by yourself.
So Emily, I'll come to you first with the hardest question of all, because I know you've been a voice director on the program and written a few scripts. Any tips for the guys? Obviously, this is season 3, so they're pros now. We're 8 seasons and 4 movies in, right?
That sounds right. That sounds right.
And try and be kinder on David as well.
2 games.
So, any tips for these guys?
So you get 3 games.
Three games?
Do better.
Yeah.
Okay? Do
Right.
better. I'm just kidding.
Because this
Y'all are
show could
wonderful.
have legs if they did a little bit better, right?
No, they're wonderful. These people are amazing. I have no notes. No notes.
But seriously, guys, when you listen to a show that I think you said 8, how many years ago?
8 years
8
ago?
years ago.
for this episode.
Do you listen to that? I mean, I know we're all quite critical of ourselves at times, and you guys are all experts at what you do. Do you see a show that's a few years ago and you think, oh man, I wish I had another bite of that apple? And what would you have done a little bit differently, or would you have tweaked some things along the way?
I think, yeah, sure. I think, especially when you see something that's a few years old, it's easy to watch it and sort of think like, what would have happened if I would have done this differently or said this differently? But I think it's a big testament to the whole cast of this show and our director as well, who did a great job of kind of putting the right people in the right places. It really is truly an ensemble show. We've got some awesome stars of the show, but it is truly, the great thing about the show is that everybody has their favorite characters. There's so many to choose from.
Yeah.
And each of those characters is kind of unique and fun and interesting in their own way. So I really wouldn't change a thing, It is sometimes a little tough to watch your own stuff. And but honestly, it's made it a little easier by having fans in the room, because I feel like I'm like, whatever happens, they're just gonna like it, so it'll be fine.
I think when I will watch things that I did, because I started acting when I was 6, so I'll watch back things that I did as a child, and I used to be very super critical, and then I would go, but 7-year-old Jeremy was doing her best in that moment, and also I got the job, so I was right in that moment in time. And if I had the knowledge that I have now, I don't think I would have gotten some of the jobs that I got in the past. So there was something that the casting director heard, or an essence that was right, that with the knowledge and experience that I have now, I might not have been right. So while I look back and go, oh, I would have done this differently, or I'm glad that I now have this confidence, or I found this part of my voice, I would not have had that same experience. So it all falls into place and happens for a reason, as it should. And if we watch back on something that we did 5, 6, 7 years ago and we go, that's my best work, then we didn't grow as an actor. And that's not the fun, that's part of the journey, is we're always getting better, we're always learning, we're always growing, we're always being inspired by our real lives, our friends' work, other projects, and so that's part of the ever-changing journey as an actor, I think.
That's what I was going to say is, I mean, I have looked back on stuff and thought like, wow, that was not the right read. But, it was 10 years ago, and I've grown as an actor. So when I look back on something and I think I could have done that differently, it shows that I have come a long way as an actor and that the work I've put in has been worth it. But I like the way you look at it too. Like, how I did that back then is what got me the job. Whether I think that's the best I could do now or not, it doesn't matter. Right.
We don't get to choose our takes. So oftentimes we might say, oh, I would want to say this line this way with this inflection. But the director and the engineer and everybody knows of all the pieces, this is going to be the best read that's going to sound right with these 8 actors. And I know what they might do, or I know this actor and I know their tendencies. So much of, I was listening to a podcast the other day and they said, when you're doing anything like voiceover, film, television, it's the editor's medium because they're the ones that take the final cut. We don't get to say, oh, hey, please use my B pass. That's really the best work. We do 3 passes or 10 passes or whatever and then say, I trust you, you do what works the best. The only time that we really get the final say is on stage in a play, because what happens live, that is the way it is.
Yep.
So a lot of it is a lot of trust, and like you said, it wasn't my choice. But if that was where the director was, and if it was a newer director and they're finding their footing, like we're all exploring and figuring it out. And so it's all about growth and progress and celebrating the moment.
Yeah, and like what you guys were saying, when I watch something back, I think sometimes like, I wonder what it would be like if I knew all of the journey before that moment. But to speak to what you guys said, like it might be worse if you knew all of the journey. Like it's really about that
when you do an
moment,
audition
staying in
4
that
times,
moment, you
it just
know?
gets worse
And
and worse.
if you're truthful in each moment, then the thing will line up, you know?
That's all cute. I can tell you something that actually did change in this episode. So
What I said was cute, actually. It was very
after
cute.
this,
Very cute.
After this episode, Colleen got pulled off of directing on the show to direct on the first movie, Two Heroes, and so then I started directing the show for the next several episodes. After this episode came out originally to the streaming service, somebody, I don't know who, discovered that Froppy's math is wrong in the episode, and so then I had to record a pickup of Monica Rial doing Froppy's math, correcting the percentage. She's like, that means it's less than however many of us pass. And so I actually had to direct us re-recording that line. And that's also why, if you ever watch the bloopers from this season, there's a blooper that I had Monica do where she goes, that's like 10, oh, I can't math. Like, it's because somebody messed up and then it made it all the way through and was caught later that it was a mistake.
Creative choice versus math choice. Math is always right.
Yeah.
There's always a correct answer. In art, there's 1,000 correct answers.
Yeah. So, there you go.